outside of the sundial swimming pool. Dad and Mother are sitting at the table watching us swim. It's a beautiful place. Most of the family have gone swimming here at the sundial.
You learn by trial and error. That's how I learned. Trial and error. Just to buy. How smart.
There are various swimming pools in Sun City, but to my knowledge, this is the only interior one here.
They don't put the tie on.
You're getting a little heavy around the middle, I think.
He is too. Yeah, some of his pants are getting tight.
Yeah. He really is.
Yeah.
You think I gained?
Yes.
Yeah. You have.
We're at Bob and Avis Anderson's home in Apache Junction. We're sitting down to have dinner, and this is Avis Munter, the oldest daughter of Bob and Marjorie Munter, and her young, handsome, debonair husband, Bob Anderson.
Yeah. Boy, lie, gee. He's gonna get you next.
So, you're just about ready to really eat some good dinner. Everything looks good.
You're on candid camera now, Dad.
Yeah, Grandpa, you're on the tube now.
On camera.
Hi.
Say hi, Dad.
Is that Grandpa just like that?
Sure.
That's really good now.
That really is. This is the drugstore that was in Murphy's Romance. And if those of you who have seen the movie with James Garner or recognize the tree that he planted and where he always parked his older car, Mother and Bob and Avis are looking at the drugstore. Florence, Arizona is a older city and is the county seat of the county. Arizona is an older city. And of course, I assume a lot of tourists are coming here since it was made rather famous by being the site of the film Murphy's Romance with James Garner and Sally Field. James Garner was nominated as the best actor for his part in that film. What do you call that, Avis?
Huh?
What do you call that?
This?
Yeah.
The fish hook flora. Oh, is that on? Yeah. I didn't know. It's the palm
Fall over on us with mash.
Yeah, you bet it would.
That would be it. Like it fell over when there's nothing left.
No.
Oh, boy.
She's an oldie, isn't it?
Yep. Yep. It is.
Sure is pretty though.
Don't damage or disface this sign either.
First time I
Oh,
seen one
Dwayne, gosh.
Davis.
We're at the a lake. What's the name of the lake, Avis? Why don't you get out in the sun so I can see you? Show yourself. Come on, let's see all of you, Avis. Don't all of you, don't just part of you. Get out in the sunshine. You're in the shadows.
Look at them. You see the boats out there, Dad?
Yeah, I see lots of white spots
Yeah, white spot right down here, you mean?
right over here.
Oh, that's the barrel, yeah.
What's the name of this lake, Avis?
The Roar
Yeah,
What is it?
Flora Lake.
I've heard that name quite often,
Isn't it pretty? Where's it at?
so in Mexico or
No.
Arizona.
There. We're just about.
Yes,
I don't think there's many women that's looked in their husband's eyes as often as your wife. For the
you
last
don't,
16 years, I've been looking all the way, well, for about 9 years or 10. I looked in your eyes around the clock every 6 hours.
you don't,
I did.
you did.
The morning at noon, morning at 6, 12 at noon, afternoon at 6, 6 o'clock in the night, or 12 o'clock at night, every
Is
6
it-
hours.
It's a tiresome.
And then we got here to Sun City, and Dr. Delaney specialist said that they have something now that you don't need to do that. So I do it twice. So I've been doing
Oh.
that now for 8 years, I guess, or 7.
Oh,
You never think about it though, do you? You never think about it, do you?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear mother. Happy birthday to you.
Wow,
Now we need
Harry
a
gets way up
lower
there.
Thank you.
Any speech, Mom, speech.
I feel very fortunate to have
go and ask
such a wonderful family. And I'm sure this is the nicest birthday I've ever had. I certainly, I mean, I couldn't believe when Avis or whoever, Dwayne, somebody told me that you was all going to come. And for 2-3 days, I don't know why I just didn't think that was going to be. Well, I just wasn't looking, so far away, and this never happened before. And I guess I was so happy that when I prayed that night, I thanked the Lord for the many blessings that He has given me and Bob for our such wonderful, wonderful family. And that's counting Harriet and Evelyn and Sheila and all of them. They're all our family. I wouldn't know what we'd do without them. And this day is special. It's really special. This whole week's been special. And I had 2 such wonderful mother and father, and I feel that my family have the same respect for me. And I'm sure that they do. And with the Lord's blessing, and I hope that He will keep Bob and I in His care, and all my family. And very seldom do I ever go to sleep at night without. I pray for all of you and ask the Lord to keep all of you in His care. And I know that He has. So I want to thank you for the beautiful present that I have received, and I'll enjoy them each day.
We'll be back on your 93rd.
Oh my. Well, you never know. You never
I don't know, we'll be out here in this cactus park.
Well, 83 years ago, I didn't think I'd be standing here either. In fact, I didn't think I'd ever be living here. But now that I am, I enjoy it.
Well, it's a beautiful spot out here, Mother. Sunny day down here in west of Sun City, Arizona. Harriet, I can't see you too well. You're in the shade.
There you go. There we are. Don't
We're
push
going
the
to be
little one
very
out.
careful what we say. We've said everything before. We have to really be careful.
Avis, you better come and join us.
She has to be careful too.
You remember,
Stay over on this side.
this is for posterity, and we'll hold you accountable for everything you say today.
That's why I want to be quiet. This is our moment. This is a wonderful place. Wonderful reunion. And I'm not going to make a speech. I made mine last night. At 2 a.m. in Hotel 6. On the corner. It's your turn to talk.
Well, when it's my turn, I have nothing to say.
You can giggle.
No, I'm enjoying this thoroughly, having the brothers and sisters and to be able to be with my folks. I just hope someday our family can all be together like this. We're having a great time.
Whoopee.
Beautiful sun. And we did enjoy Motel 6.
I heard all about it.
The management called this morning.
No, we're having a great time. So,
Well, that's fine. You can see there isn't much left on this table. You know, I'm trying to find Arlene. She's so thin I can't find her. Oh, there she is.
Young one. Nice to be the next to old Jim. You came this morning. I'm no longer the young one anymore. Oh. Well, next to the youngest girl, and there's the oldest over there.
where?
But it's nice to be here, and I was real happy that I could come. Flew down with Iris and Harriet, and we had a good time all the way down. They said that we had a good tailwind because we were in the back, and it just pushed the plane right forward, and we even made good time getting here. But nice to be here in this beautiful sun after that snow we left in Nebraska. It was cold this year back there. Thank you.
Now we got the patriot. Here's a young man of 92, last November the 2nd, right, Dad?
I guess so.
What are you doing? You haven't said a whole lot.
Huh?
You haven't said a whole lot.
I haven't what?
Said a whole lot.
Oh. No.
You apparently wasn't up to Motel 6.
I,
Well, you haven't gotten Jim. Right.
I let the rest do the talking.
And you do the setting.
I do the acting.
Well, you haven't
Well, let's
gotten
see
Iris
now.
and Jim.
We
Iris
got
and-
Bob here.
No, Avis did all the talking.
Avis did all the talking? Does she talk for the family?
She talks for the whole family.
She does.
Just mum it up. That's it.
That's
Get the
it.
hat back there so you can see this good-looking guy
Yeah,
here.
see that bald hair.
Is that the hat you wear to bed?
Go on, Dwayne.
Is that the one?
Attaboy.
And there's Jim.
That's right. It's good to be here. You bet. I'm sure glad Grandma's praying for us, I can tell you that. That's a good sign. I think we need it.
I don't know if it's enough.
That's probably true, too.
Well, we're going to the Great Wall of China, I guess,
Right.
tonight for Chinese food. So we'll take a picture maybe on the way or there or someplace.
And we pray that nobody goes over the wall.
That's right.
Are we going to take the slow boat?
Slow boat to China.
There have been times we went up the wall.
Yeah, and Avis is over the hill.
Oh,
Over the wall or over the hill?
She's over the hill. Up the wall.
About when a certain uncle visited you. Give us first
You mean
name.
Godfrey?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Or what did he do? Oh, you mean about the Dillinger notes?
Yes, let's talk about that.
Yours?
No, Iris was always cooking.
Oh,
no, I wasn't cooking.
Iris.
I was sick.
Iris was always
Wait.
sick and cooking.
wait a way. This was back when Dillinger was pretty prominent, and so it was so boring when you heard cattle. You know, you don't do much. You just sit there and watch them eat grass.
Come on,
And so
Joe.
I would write notes,
So you get in there.
and I'd put them underneath the bridges. Well, then when Arlene or Iris or Avis would herd cattle, they found the note and they brought it over to Godfrey. And Godfrey Munter was their uncle, and he was a lawyer in Washington, D.C. And
How did he look when he read that note?
he was
Show
astonished.
Show us,
He was
like you did the other night.
couldn't get over it.
I come a riding in, old Major, just so excited.
And he said, well, we'll have to take this up with Hoover. Hoover was head of the FBI, and I knew Hoover was a pretty tough guy. And I didn't tell him, who wrote it, of course, but I was really worried that Hoover was going to pick me up just any moment after that.
That was
That's the
good.
story?
That's the story. Now let's talk about somebody who loaned you that Packard, or let you drive
Oh,
that
no,
Packard.
we're not going to put this on record. My kids will see this.
That's all right.
Oh, no.
All right, Avis, you'd like to tell the Packard story.
Dwayne can tell
No,
it.
you tell it. You tell it.
Let Avis tell the
But I'm
Packard
not-
story.
I was a backseat passenger, and I was told to keep my mouth shut.
But we had
Remember Dwayne said, don't you girls tell now.
Or you
But this
won't
is
get
60.
another ride.
Right.
This is 60 years later. Secrets don't have to be kept that long.
But
It's a
we were
beautiful
going
Packard.
to Porridge, yes, and this real nice Packard of Godfrey's, and we was going through these little hills, and
Little hills.
well, they were
Country road.
country road hills, and we went over, and we were going quite a speed, I think, because we kind of left the road, and it was so much fun, and we kept saying, do it over, do it over.
About,
right, Iris?
about how old was your brother?
Oh, he was really quite young in those days. 12 years old, was it,
No,
Dwayne?
I was about
14?
15.
14, 15?
15, yeah.
15?
37, 38.
I was about 9 then.
She weighed about 74.
There wasn't much weight in the back seat.
That's why the car took off.
I think come over here. I bet it would never leave the road today.
I wasn't orange yet. I'm too young for
I
that.
bet if
I
it
don't
came down,
remember
we'd
it.
have to have good shots. But it
He'd
was
never
fun.
get us off the ground today.
No.
That was fun, though.
Yes, it was. Boy.
Godfrey was so trusting.
He was.
We were, I thought.
I think there's more things to ask Dwayne.
Okay. Oh, goodness.
Remember this. Remember when.
That's enough. Let's don't
No,
take up any more what
there's
I
so
had.
many.
What I
Oh,
done.
no,
How
it's
about
fun.
Harriet? No, Harriet.
I've done my talking. You were over here and interviewed me.
Yeah, we didn't tell all the secrets.
Oh, well, we're not going to tell those secrets.
You were
Think of
telling a
some
lot
more
more
things.
secrets when I was taking the other.
Well, we knew a few. We did know a few. What do you remember, girls? What do you remember about when you were small children?
Well,
Things about your farm and home
farm.
life.
Well, and I can remember when
Your playhouses, I remember
playhouses.
What happened to them?
Oh,
Dwayne wrecked them.
there was always a tornado.
went through.
Big tornado gone through.
that. A lot of tornadoes in those days.
And it always hit that playhouse.
And our mud pies, everything would be
Oh,
gone.
God.
It was
They're,
sad.
they're so good.
We'd work all day long cleaning it, and that night it would be destroyed.
Tell about your little pet bird,
The pigeon.
your little Jane.
Jane.
Tell about that.
Yes.
Oh,
This
yeah.
little pigeon. You remember that? We built the house and had little curtains on it. It was out of an old Delco battery box, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it had a stairway up so you could walk up
Walk.
on that, up into these house.
Yes. And all I'd have to say was, go home, Janie, go home. And she'd kind of scold, and she'd go off down this path and go on her home. And she was really a pet. And we were going to Minnesota that summer when we had her. And got this letter from Elmer. And he
Yeah.
said, I sure enjoyed that pigeon soup.
That bird was on top of that tall barn of mine, and her bird got loose and flew up there. And she says, "Go home, Janie, come home." That pigeon come right, flew down, lit in the ground, went woo, 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 right up in the wash house.
No, her house.
I never seen the likes.
I remember, I saw that.
Did you see that?
I saw that.
It was thrashing. It was during dry.
I think it was
It was a rat.
I think it was a rat.
weasel. Is a weasel small
A weasel.
that could crawl in?
Slender.
Could have been a rat or a weasel. Probably a rat.
Because we always put that screen on top of the
I
box
think
at
it's
night.
so your dad can talk.
No, there wasn't much school for the girls that day.
No.
And then Grandpa Bain was with us, so they buried it, and Grandpa would give a little sermon, sang a song.
He always sang Rock of Ages. Yeah, and he'd take his hanky out and wipe his tears. He felt just like he
See
was...
who's talking here?
This is Dwayne here.
Oh, Dwayne.
Yeah.
Dwayne, yeah.
Yep.
And Avis, how you loved your horse.
Major.
Yeah, Major got sick and you sat out there for 3 days. I had to bring you out something to eat. She wouldn't eat.
Yeah, but Major would take his teeth and lift up that oat bin.
Oh.
All the oats would run on the ground.
You remember that, Dad?
Remember when Major lifted up that oat
Yeah.
and all the oats would run out?
With his nose.
Yes.
What did he do?
Foundered himself.
There was a kind of a handhold there where I could pull the slide up and the oats would run out. If I wanted to feed the pigs, the feed would run out, then push the pedal down, it would shut it off. And that, what was I going to say?
What Major would do when we'd go away.
Yeah, he'd get out of the barn. That's one thing.
Oh, the pigeon lit up in the barn, and Ava started crying. She says it won't come, she won't catch it. And I just stood there and I says, go home, Janie, come home. And the pigeon flew down and lit on the ground, roughed up its feathers, woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
Run right into
But Major Dad, he would take his nose, and you remember them hooks on the door?
Yes.
And he'd
What
get
did
that
he
hook
do?
up.
If he wanted to feed, he just raised the pedal up and the oats run out.
And you remember what you told me? You said, Avis, next time that horse does that, I'm going to shoot it. You
well,
were teasing.
It had a half a load oats
And I know it, and I
on
was
the
always
ground.
so scared to go anyplace because I thought Major would do that, and I thought you were serious.
But
No,
never,
Remember when the rendering company was
he
going
can
so
open the
low?
lid, but he didn't shut it.
No, I know it.
He didn't have good horse sense.
That's his trouble.
His elevator didn't go up to the top.
Yeah, his elevator didn't go to the top floor.
I went halfway up.
But then Dad told us he buried it and it was like 80 below zero or something. We went to school and Dick Munter said, I saw the rendering truck go by. And we cried and the teacher sent us home from school. We cried for 2 days because Dad couldn't. But Dad said he buried it and then of course he didn't.
Well, I wanted a horse blanket,
I did too.
but what happened? You wouldn't let me have a horse blanket.
No.
So I've never had a horse blanket until this day.
Well, what actually happened to Major?
Old age.
Old age.
Died about 30.
Is that right?
Didn't get enough love, that's for sure.
Uh-huh.
We used to polish your
Oh,
clothes.
tell about you and Catherine going up in the old Danes and what happened. Major and you and Catherine.
Oh, well, we had a lot of stories in that buggies, haven't we?
Oh. Lots of stories.
Arlene, come over here and sit by the way. Ooh, I'm so cold.
Arlene,
Well, you can have this.
Arlene,
you
you
cold?
have a favorite story about Major and the
Put
buggy.
Arlene on.
Oh,
the
no,
story.
I'm not going to tell that one.
Here, Arlene.
Tell that one.
Arlene, come over here, please.
Okay. You're going to have to tell
I
that
want
one,
you to be in the
What's
picture.
that about what?
Oh, that's Avis's story.
No, I'm going to...
About what?
We want the little baby girl to talk
Yeah.
a little bit. No, baby girl doesn't. I don't remember anything. I was too young. I'm like Jimmy. I don't remember. I'm too young for all
I
these
never
stories.
thought you'd ever get
That's what
a
happens
bird
when you're the
to
baby of the family.
understand.
But she was such a cute little kid.
And so spoiled.
Oh.
She was until somebody else came along and took her place.
Yeah.
I was never spoiled. I was always out in the chicken house.
I
Yes,
know what
she was. Why do I know what went on?
I have to tell about my 3 little girls. That was John Munter. Of course, you know, he never had no girls, just them 3 boys. So John come up and, I was getting ready to go to town. So, of course, then I would never take my girls unless they was just perfect. They had to be just so-so. So so Ava's the oldest, so I get her all dressed. So then I put you reminded me last night, you three girls in that chair. I took me back. And so I said, Ava's chair, she just said that she wouldn't move. So then I'd get Iris, I'd get her just perfect, set her down. And then I'd get Arlene, because she's the littlest, you know. And so then I went upstairs to get ready. And somebody knocked on the door, it was John. He just opened the door and come in, and he stood there, and all he seen them, they wouldn't say nothing, they just sat there. John says, I will never forget that. Ever. He said, and I opened that door, and there sat them three girls just like this.
Well, we were going to go to the big town of Corey.
Well, we didn't get to go very often.
Well, when you did, you just so. And then you get your money. When you could buy what you wanted, but you dared eat it till you got home and got your clothes off. Changed, you know.
Now, you
clothes.
talking about couldn't eat it till we got home. I'm going to tell one of my little sister.
Yeah.
But did you notice that? Did you notice that Mother says she was the
Would you
littlest? And
ever-
guess who's the littlest yet?
Would you ever think?
Now,
Would you ever think you could get a bird?
What's your driver's
Well,
license say?
Ava, that is good about Arlene. You know that.
Yeah.
Tell that about her.
We wasn't supposed to eat it in town, and so we was coming home, and we could hear this little sack ruffle all the time, and Arlene wasn't saying a word, and we got home, and we had to stay home that day, Iris
well,
and I,
thank
and
you,
Uncle
girl.
Lloyd went to town.
Yeah, Uncle Lloyd.
And Uncle Lloyd knew she was doing it because he'd hold his hand back every once in a while, and she'd put a piece of candy in his mouth, so he'd be shut up, you know. And we got home, we said, was out there waiting for a candy, and you got the sack, and you looked at it, and you looked around,
And there wasn't any left.
nothing left. So you know what her name was that night.
I remember we divide the candy in little piles. Each got little candy corn, one.
Right, we divide. Well, when I started, I thought, now we're one piece over, so I'll just eat that piece. So I ate that piece, and it was, I remember, it was one of those chocolate drop ones.
Oh, I love
And then I thought, well, I'd eat just one more, but I had to eat the whole
Well,
to
then
make it even, to make it come out even. And then pretty soon there was only 3 left, so I just had to eat the rest.
Well, then Uncle Lloyd, he
I remember that.
And Arlene, another thing.
Oh, I remember
Well, when
that.
she was little, that's Bob. And Bob and I was going to town, you know, and I didn't, Uncle Lloyd was there, you know. And of course, you girls knew you couldn't go, but Arlene wanted to go. Oh, and she kept crying and crying. I said, no, you can't go. Finally, you know, sometimes you'll say, well, go. And Lloyd, he'd going like this. And he said, she'd come over and she says, Uncle Lloyd, if I cry long enough, Mommy will say yes. So then I wouldn't say yes. Oh, that was so sweet. Just Mommy will say yes.
All my bridges.
What's this about the corn crib, Jim?
That was my first skydiving.
What year were you born, Jim?
Oh, do I have to say that?
Yeah.
1938.
I remember that.
Yes, and all
1938.
these kids were sort of
Yeah.
growing up and
Yeah.
head start on you.
I do remember though the time that
You
on
were
the
a
corn crib when
novelty.
Dwayne was said, oh, it was in that old elevator, that the old it was a John Deere I think elevator. Anyway, we went up the elevator, each one of those paddles at a time, and got way at the top and got out and got on the ridge, that tin, ridge on the top of the roof. And he said, oh, just come on out. So I shinning along, got here at the edge. He told me to jump, and I stood up and looked down, and gosh, I looked a long way. He didn't look very big down there. I remember that. And he said, oh, go ahead, I'll catch you. So I just did a swan dive and